Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenaton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, we got a pretty cool deck today. We're going to be looking at a Kindred deck, specifically a Kindred Vi Elise deck. Uh, that is also, so it's a Shadow Isles PNZ control deck. Now, this deck has been around for a while, but it's kind of fallen off in the past couple of months. I'm checking it out again because of the Kindred buffs, the changes. I actually think it is quite good in the meta too, as it seems like the meta is starting to settle finally. And Ari Cannon seems to still be the top deck to beat. But yeah, I like the deck. I like Kindred. Kindred's one of my favorite champions, and I'm going to keep trying to make Kindred work. So, let's go look at the deck. Okay, welcome to the deck. Now, you've probably seen this deck before in some form or another, basically just a Shadow Isles PNZ control deck with the Sentinels. Some say it's control, some say it's beatdown. It's kind of a little bit of both, in all honesty. But yeah, this is the current version that I like at the moment. Pretty standard here. We're just pretty much using our removal to remove our opponent's stuff. Kindred's a nice backline champ who will sit in the back, marking things, sometimes occasionally getting in an attack, but you got to be very careful of things like Hush and Quicksand in case you do send in Kindred to attack. And then the way we win is either just with complete board dominance or a nice Ladros Atrocity, or if we level up Kindred, a Kindred Atrocity. In fact, you could even run a second Atrocity if you want. I only like one at the moment. So, let's look at the cards real quick and why we run certain cards. First off, 3 Thermogenic Beams. This card is very versatile. Big removal, small removal, does it all. You could definitely cut it down to 2 and add in another card of your choice. I like 3 in the current meta. Next up, Burgeoning Sentinel. Just comes down early. Very, very nice for getting in a lot of chip damage. Blocks fairly well, especially after you activate it and make it a 3/3. So very good card. Definitely going to run all 3. Next up, 1 Elise. We only play 2 Vi's, so we have another slot open for a champion. So at the moment we're playing 1 Elise because the meta is very aggressive. Definitely could be removed for another powerful one of champion. Ezreal is a good example of that. Besides Ezreal or Elise, there's not really another one that you might like. Like, there are others to consider. For example, Senna, maybe even Heimerdinger. But at the moment, I prefer Elise. And if the meta did slow down, I would probably put in an Ezreal or a Senna, depending on the meta. Next up, 3 Pharaoh's Financiers. The old version of this deck didn't really run it, the initial version. Some people tried it, some people didn't like it. I like Pharaoh's Financier in this deck. I think Shadow Isles is the best region for Pharaoh's Financier, because you're always going to be in PNZ, obviously. But I think Pharaoh's Financier does really, really well in Shadow Isles. There are just so many good spells in the Shadow Isles pool for Financier to hit. Brood Awakening, Piercing Darkness, Dawning Shadow, more Atrocities, and then Harrowing and Ruination. Ruination if you just need more removal. Harrowing to act as like another pseudo win con as well. So I really, really like the guy. He gives you healing, he gives you removal. Does really, really well in Shadow Isles. 3 Glimpses. I like Glimpse in the current meta because, well, I just like it in the current meta, and more importantly, I like it in this deck because we're playing Kindred. Other versions that didn't play Kindred and were more Elise Vi oriented played Officer Squad. Don't blame you if you don't remember this card, but you would sometimes see people playing Officer Squad. You could consider Officer Squad in this deck. I like this card. I just wish he was a little bit better and I'd play him so much more often. But because we're playing Kindred, I like Glimpse over Officer Squad because of the Slay synergy with Kindred. 3 Mystic Shots. We're a PNZ deck and a control deck on top of that. So we're going to run all 3 copies of Mystic Shot. Don't need to tell you too much about this card. 3 copies of Vile Feast. You could definitely run only 2, but I like 3 at the moment. Only 2 Buru Sentinels. 3 is kind of standard. I am cutting 1 because I'm a little greedy. Because I'm running Station Archivist instead, and I want to run 3 Station Archivists. You could definitely only run 2 Archivists and 3 Sentinels, depends on what you like instead. I like the 2 Buru Sentinel, 3 Archivist. It might be completely wrong to run Archivist in the deck at all. Other versions of this style of deck don't run Archivist. I just like the card. You might want to run, say, Time Tricks instead of Archivist. Fallen Felines as well as a consideration, but I like the Archivist. 1 of Aftershock, you could definitely go up to 2. I like 1 of in this deck. Little extra burn to face. I like it over Gotcha as well because we're not really playing Time Trick, and Gotcha without Time Trick just feels kind of bad. And it gives us some kind of game plan against certain decks like Bandletree and Turbo Thralls. And if you run into those decks more and more often, you could definitely run more Aftershocks. 3 Kindreds. I would not cut a single Kindred here. This deck is kind of built around Kindred. So all 3 of them. 1 box, 2 Withering Wail is our AoE here. I like Wail in the current meta over Withering Mist. And the reason is Ranger's Resolve is not that popular at the moment. If Ranger's Resolve gets more and more popular, I might consider running Withering Mist over Withering Wail. But I like Wail. It does really well against Kinku Wayfinder, aka Ari Cannon. So does Box. And I think if we're playing a control deck, a Shadow Isles control deck, you should run 3 of these type of removals. 3 Box, Wail, and Withering Mist. Is it called Withering Mist? Am I calling the wrong card here? Hold on. No, yeah, it's Withering Mist. But yeah, I feel like because of Arcana, you should run at least 3 of these type of AoE cards: Withering Mist, Withering Wail, and Box. Maybe even 4 if you want to really target that deck. Only 2 Vise. The reason for this is 3 Vise is a little clunky and can be a dead draw. We only really want to draw 1 Vi anyway. After that, the 3rd Vi and even the 2nd Vi sometimes is kind of dead. And Vi is usually just in this deck to remove a couple of units, kind of think like Diana or something, or just a challenger in general. We're not really trying to level up Vi or win with Vi, but if we do, she does become a very good atrocity target and just a win con in general. Another reason we're playing this deck, Vengeance. With the Vengeance buff, Vengeance is a really good card, so we run all 3. Might be a mistake, might be a little too greedy, but I like 3 Vengeances at the moment. 1 Atrocity, 2 Commander Ladroses. Atrocity and Ladros are basically our win cons. You could consider cutting 1 of the Ladroses. I think you should run 2, though. We don't really have... We have card draw, but we don't have ways to search up individual cards, so we run 2 Ladroses, because this is how we're going to win a lot of our games. And 1 Ruination. It's just here for those like chunky, beefy mid-range decks. Think like Gangplank decks, Sejuani decks. It tried its best against Elusive Poros, but that deck is kind of falling off. It seems a little bit. Seems like Elusive Poros will become a meta threat, I guess is a good way to say it, but it's not going to be a top tier deck. It seems like Elusive Poros are settling in as a solid tier 2 deck, but not a tier 1 deck. Anyway, though, that is the deck and why we play certain cards in this deck and how to play the deck, pretty much. Just remove things and get lots of value. So let's go and see the deck in action. Why not? Okay, Mono Zoe. All right, so if you don't know this deck, Mono Zoe is basically a Shellfolk deck. The win cons are Zoe and Shellfolk pretty much, sometimes Star Shapings as well. We'll keep Pharaoh's Financier Kindred here. I'd like to find a Mystic Shot or a Thermo Beam. That's good. But yeah, ever since the Shellfolk nerf, I have not liked that version of Shellfolk. I think Shellfolk is still a good card and a good deck, just not Mono Zoe. I think you should pair up this deck with, say, like a Diana or something. And because I think Shellfolk is not consistent enough anymore. I'm probably going to take Dawning Shadow here so I can deal with a Shellfolk on curve. We have Vengeance, but if I can deal with all 3 Shellfolks, you're going to struggle a lot. I don't know what you're doing with that. Are you that desperate, opponent? I will gladly trade this. I will not trade this. Yeah, I will not trade this. I want to bluff Glimpse here. I mean, I'm not bluffing it. I have it, but I want to hold up Glimpse. So yeah, we'll just pass here. I also want to do that because I have Kindred here, and Kindred Glimpse will be really, really good. Sure. 2 Vengeances and 1 Dawning Shadow. We're fine. I'm just going to do this now before they prank me. A little annoying if they have a second Zoe, but I feel like if they had a second Zoe, they would have played it already. That's really, really annoying in all honesty. So yeah, we might lose to a leveled up Zoe. That might be a problem. We can always Vengeance Zoe if we really, really need to. And hopefully Kindred will win us the game now. This is fine. If they pass priority, that'd be great for me. Hopefully they don't hit my Glimpse. They hit my Glimpse. Maybe they'll take Vengeance. Nope, they want to take Glimpse. Just attack. Alright, we'll just play Kindred here. This is actually really nice. This means they can only attack in with Zoe now. Don't know why they're pranking now. This probably means they don't have a Shellfolk then. Yeah, they either don't know how to play their deck that well, or they don't have a Shellfolk. That's going to hurt. They're going to prank Vengeance here, most likely. Thankfully, they haven't seen my other Vengeance or my Dawning Shadow, but this is the problem. Oh, they're not attacking with Zoe for some reason. I don't know why. That's a really good draw. We can actually play Archivist here. Hopefully we get like a Mystic Shot or something. It's an Aftershock. It's not the worst. Are they killing Kindred? If so, I don't mind. Kindred has done their job. They've basically... I mean, Kindred got a 2-for-1 here. That's already great. I'm just going to Aftershock this Zoe. Please don't tell me you play Bastion for some weird reason. Nice. That was really good. That's really important to get rid of. So now we'll just sit back, try to win with Ladros. Another Aftershock's actually real. I knew that was coming. So yeah, we'll just Vengeance here. They probably thought this would be safe after seeing the 1 Vengeance be gone. And so yeah, without Zoe and with 3 ways to kill Shellfolk, I've probably won this game. I can't really play another card because they might have another Shellfolk here, so I'm just going to pass. Zoe's annoying. I'm going to play Pharaoh's Financier here. Ruination's interesting. Like, really, really interesting. So, all of these cards are interesting here. Rude Awakening's nice because I am running low on units. Ruination's nice just as a reset. And Progress Day is good, too, to just draw. I think I'm going to take Progress Day. That's a little greedy, though. Yeah, that's a little really, really greedy. I'll take Ruination. Well, I was worried about that. I think I'm going to Aftershock here and try and bait them into playing another unit. Yeah, I like this play. I was hoping they wouldn't have another Shellfolk, which is why I played the Financier, but... Oh, okay, well, that was a fast concede. All right, easy game, boys. All right. Well, we might be doing 3 games for this video. That last game was very fast, and I'll be honest with you, this game might be fast too. Taric Pantheon, it's a little bit better than Mono Pantheon against us, but Taric Pantheon decks in general against us are very weak. Honestly, keeping Burgeoning Sentinel might be a problem, or might be wrong here, but again, Pantheon is always, or not always, but Pantheon is just weak to, what's it called? Vengeance decks, and we are a Vengeance deck. Drawing Ruination's pretty good. Their out is basically going to be drawing, or not drawing, they're out, and their win con is a really, really lucky Pantheon. I could Thermo this. I think I'll pass here. I could have considered playing this Burgeoning Sentinel, but I'm fine here. Yeah, this is an interesting turn. I think I'm going to just Thermo here. This is a little weak against Chain Vest, but I want to do this. Nice. This is really, really nice. And now I can just trade for this, and I will gladly trade for this. I'm really happy I did not play my Burgeoning Sentinel now. So yeah, we killed one of their win cons, and it was a white flame at that, so that's really, really good. I will just play this Sentinel now.
I did say I wanted to see the world.
The correct play there was probably just to pass. That's going to be annoying. That's going to be really, really annoying. They even have a gem, too. Okay, never mind. When I say it was annoying, I mean I am completely fine, and I'm not panicking at all, because I top-decked Vengeance. Let's go! Yeah, I kind of... Ooh, that's cute. That's a real cute opponent. I'm going to do this now before they Pale Cascade into attack, so they don't get a second extra Pale Cascade draw. Honestly, I could see my opponent conceding soon. As for this, I'm gonna block and glimpse here. If this baits out a single combat, fine. But my hand kind of sucks, so I just want to do this now. A Vile Feast, sure. A Kindred, nice. Kind of wish that had taken 1 damage then, but this is still fine. So we'll just snap. Yeah, we'll just snap pass here, especially with this Vengeance. Fleet Feathers, interesting. We'll just pass again.
I bring clarity.
Yeah, so we're just gonna Kindred ping.
They retreat.
I'm considering not doing it, but I think I'll do it. Yeah, I think I'll do it. This is only killing a 3/2, but I still like this play. Kind of annoying if they have Sharp Sight, but that's fine. Pale Cascade? Alright, cool. I made a read earlier on that they were trying to bluff Pale Cascade, and they had it, so whatever. So yeah, the only annoying thing now is this Fleet Feather might kill my Kindred, which is fine. I could Vile Feast here, but eh.
Such power.
Yeah, we're gonna just...
When I earn that name, I will take it back.
I'm a little afraid of... I'm gonna just pass here. I'm a little afraid of Golden Aegis.
They will know.
That's fine. No gem on Taric into attack.
Lead, we must.
I see her.
Sure. I'll just do this to pop the barrier. And yeah, this feels like a rally here. So yeah, this is my play. I'm gonna pop the barrier here. And I'll pass here. I actually don't want to do anything. I want to see if they play Golden Aegis. This feels like a Golden Aegis turn. Yep. So I'll just Vengeance in response. This will mark the 2-1, which is fine, but... Do I just take 7? This might be a little greedy, but I'm going to take 7 here. Like this, I don't care about this. I don't know why they're not attacking with Pantheon. So yeah, we'll just let this go through. We'll probably Aftershock Pantheon here. You might say, why not Mystic Shot then? It's a good question. I'm going to Aftershock anyway. I think Mystic Shot, while it does less damage and is more efficient here, Mystic Shot being fast is just more value later on. This also plays around some stuff too. Yeah, sure, whatever. Now I can Mystic Shot this if I want. We'll put it on the stack as well. I don't want them to pass and then let them gem. Yeah, I'll do it like this. Nice, and I mark this. This means my Kindred will level. A little afraid if they have another Pantheon, but can't really do much about that. Another Taric, that's fine. This is actually pretty nice too. I've got Ruination in case they try to do any kind of rally shenanigans here. I think I've got this. I'm a little scared. My health's getting a little low, and my board's a little weak. All right, so this, I think, is a Ruination. I could try to, like, box Vile Feast, like Vile Feast, or yeah, play box, then play Vile Feast. So I ping. I think I'm going to do that. I kind of like that play a little more. Yeah, I kind of like this play a little more. I could have summoned the Sentinel too instead. And then done it at fast speed, but they would have gotten a chance to play, say, like a Sharp Side or a Pale Cascade on Taric. Yeah, I'll just pass here. I'm not even going to block this. I'll just take the 3, make them do something. And then rally, sure. I'll chump this time. Yeah, this time I will chump. Sure thing. So yeah, Kindred winning us the game. I'm just gonna pass here. Okay, and GG.
The chase ends.
More lie ahead.
Okay, welcome to game number 3. We had a fast couple of previous games, so I feel like we can get another game in for this video. Lurk matchup this time. It's gonna run into a lot of Lurk these days. Feels like Lurk is always that deck that people always like to run back to. We're a PNZ removal pile. In theory, we're favored against Lurk, but the problem is multiple pikes in spell form is a problem. I'm actually considering mulliganing away Kindred. I don't know. I think I'll keep just this. This is one of the matches where I really like having 3 thermogenic beams. This is a fine hand here, not the greatest. If I can get a Mystic Shot, this hand's even better. But yeah, Lurk is always going to be that deck that feels like, yeah, you might be favored, but sometimes they just high roll. So yeah, opponent, are you here? Are you going to tell me I'm not going to be able to put this in my video because you're not here and you DC'd during mulligan? Your mulligan? Eh. Well, let's see if you're actually here. Okay, you're actually here. You just wanted to take all the time. No problem.
Well, I
Could have
did what I
thermoed that,
wanted to
but
see.
I don't need to thermo this right away. Whiff? No, of course not. At least, hey, look, they didn't hit Rek'Sai on top this time, for once. I really need a Mystic Shot too, by the way. It's not Mystic Shot, that kind of sucks. Could attack in, offer a trade. If my opponent wants to take the trade, I'm very happy with that. Well, they can't, actually. This thing's fearsome. Or my thing's fearsome. Please no Snapjaw. Cool. Very nice, actually, for me. Might have to play an Archivist here. It's just a 3-mana 3/3. That kind of sucks. But I really, really need Mystic Shot. This is very, very Mystic Shot matchup. I don't know why they're doing this. I'm actually... Yeah, why are they... Oh my god, that's actually terrifying why they're doing that. Mystic Shots? Vile Feast is even better than Mystic Shot, actually.
I think we have something on that case.
So yeah, I'll just take the damage from Rek'Sai here, so I can Vile Feast this. So yeah, and then +1, sure, no problem. Either their hand is just awful,
Doesn't add up.
or they haven't picked up Lurk. They have Mastery. They have Mastery 3 on Pike and Mastery 3 on Rek'Sai. They've played Lurk before. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the 6 here. I heal. I have healing. It's not like... And plus it's Lurk. They don't have reach. Much reach. They have overwhelm units, but their reach isn't that good. It's not like I'm against a Decimate deck. Alright, this is pretty nice. We'll just start with this. I'm actually gonna summon Kindred here. Summoning Kindred here makes Snapjaw really, really bad. This means I won't be able to Vengeance next turn. Yeah, they're gonna just Snapjaw. I'll just trade this. And that will mark their 2/3. This is really, really good for me. And they whiffed on a Lurk, too. That's even crazier. I'll attack him like this. I'm not gonna play around Shaped Stone. No one plays Shaped Stone in Lurk anymore.
Don't touch it.
Sure, just chumping, whatever. That was nice. Gotta squeeze an extra 3. Sure, this game might be over in all honesty. If they have like a Zurzareth here or something, I'm in a little bit of trouble, but that's fine. Zursai Collars, no problem. I'm a little afraid of Hammer Snout. I think I'm just going to pass. block. I don't even want to. No, yeah, I'll block here. Like this, and I'll Vile Feast here. And I won't safety block. I'll safety block. So yeah, this will level up my Kindred, and I have an Atrocity. So here we could actually see, this doesn't happen too often, but Kindred Atrocity might happen this game. Or my opponent might concede because we're looking really, really good. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be either my opponent has a very good Pike coming up, or we just win the game because we have so much removal and we can remove all their lurkers. But yeah, Pike is basically their out. Really still surprised they play that Rek'Sai that one turn. Apparently Kindred just wants a monologue now while my opponent laments their decision to play Lurk on the ladder. Thank you, Kindred. Thank you for the story. But yeah, Withering Wail is kind of bad in this matchup. This is probably the best Withering Wail target, but it's fine. It's still a heal 3 at worst. So yeah, it looks like my opponent's a little upset. They might have Alt F4'd out and are just gone, and the game doesn't DC when you Alt F4 anyway. So they might just be gone. They might have Alt F4'd out of being just mad about running into, I don't know, Kindred PNZ removal pile. So chat, how's your day going? My good old classic question I always got to pull out whenever I run into this kind of player who just decides to, you know, not actually close the game, but just Alt F4. Alright, so, yeah, fast game, fast third game, but it's fun. It's 3 games. We're just going to start off with an attack here. There's nothing really needed to do. So, yeah, as you can see, fairly strong deck. This deck was already strong-ish before. Kindred, Vi, just Shadow Isles, PNZ, removal pile's good. Thankfully, outside of Vengeance deck, there's not that much damage-based removal in the meta. Alright, and GG.
With grace and precision.
Okay, welcome back to the deck. So, nice 3 games there. I actually can't remember what the 3 games were. We played against Lurk, I remember. Mono Zoe Shellfolk, and Taric Pantheon, I believe, were the 3 games. But yeah, all 3 of those games we won. Very, very good games for us. And I feel like for showing off the deck, we got to show off a lot of reasons why we play certain cards in the deck. Never actually saw our other champions. Never saw a single Vi or an Elise, in all honesty. We saw a Kindred quite a few times. But yeah, a lot of those games, we had just won right away really quick games because a lot of decks in the meta can't really deal with removal piles or just piles of really efficient removal. We ourselves, though, do struggle against certain decks. I'd say like Freljord Shadow Isles control is pretty good against us. They can easily remove Kindred. And then we're just basically on a Ladros control game plan, which we can still win, but it's tough. Darkness is an interesting matchup too. While we can kill Catalyzer early, they can kill our Kindreds easily. They just mini-morph Ladros and we kind of just lose. Bandletree is kind of iffy, but no one plays Bandletree. Ari Kennen's interesting. Sure, we have a lot of efficient, small, cheap removal. But they have things like Twin Disciplines, the 1-mana recalls, and Nopifies and Denies. So it's a tough matchup, I'd say, but it's not unwinnable. As for this deck, though, I like it. I think it's a solid tier 2 deck. Definitely some fine-tuning to be had here. But I'd say it's the kind of fine-tuning that needs to be done once the meta settles even more. Like, do you want Aftershock? Do you want boxes? Do you want Withering Wails? How many Vengeances? How many Ruinations? How many Ladroses? Etc., etc. Do you want Elise? Do you want Ezreal? Do you want Senna? So on and so forth. Do you want more Buru Sentinels? Do you want the Archivist? And etc., etc. But still, very fun deck. It is my favorite Kindred deck in the meta right now. I just love these kind of decks that are just piles of removal. I love control decks in general. And I really like champions like Kindred that reward you for doing a thing you already want to do. In this case, we already want to remove our opponent's things with our removal, and Kindred just rewards us for doing that. The only weakness I'd say of this deck is if your opponent plays removal themselves, we don't really have ways to protect our units. We don't really have ways to protect Kindred. Unlike other Kindred decks, we don't have things like Twin Disciplines, Troll Chants, Pale Cascades, etc., etc. So look out for those decks. Anyway, though, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your ideas and opinions on this deck. As for like, for example, what kind of cards you think would be good for this deck, what kind of cards you think should be removed from this deck, and more, of course. And if you enjoyed the video in general, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. It always helps me out. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenaton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this video. And until I see you guys in the next one, bye!